All right, so in the previous lessons, we were learning how to cast on and how to knit. And so as you can see with our swatch that we had started, it is currently in what we call a garter stitch pattern. This happens when you knit each row back and forth. You end up with this stitch pattern. Now I'm going to show you how to purl. And once you learn how to purl, then you can actually make this into what we call a stockinette stitch pattern. And that's when you see the traditional knit pattern develop. So we're going to push all these up onto our needle. This is our tail. It's just going to hang. This is our thread that's being fed from the yarn skein. We're going to, this is what it would look like when you finished that row. We're going to pull it to the back. And when you pull it to the back, you're going to feed it on. And once again, I do this in a manner somewhat similar to crochet. This is exactly how I would feed and hold my thread when I would crochet. So I continue to do it with knitting as well. So now, instead of going through the front of the loop to gather our stitch, or to gather our yarn from behind, we're actually going to bring the thread to the front. The first stitch is always a little bit goofy, but what we have to do is go this direction. So now instead of going from the left to the right, we're going from the right to the left. And we're going to grab that thread and pull it through the loop this direction. So let me show you that again. The thread's in the front of our work, and we're going to put from right to left through the needle. Grab this thread, and I like to push it down with this finger. That kind of helps stabilize it and push it through, and pull it off. Okay, so let's do this again. Let me see if I can get a better angle for you. Okay, so we have our work. These are the stitches we've worked with our thread. So we're going to put it back in the front. We're going to go this direction through the thread or through the stitch. We're going to grab this thread and pull it through this direction. Once again, thread in the front, right to left into the stitch, wrap it around, pull it through. Okay, and once again, right to left, grab the thread, pull it through. And you can see we're working from the front this time instead of from the back. The stitches right now, these are actually called purl stitches. They don't look much different than what we're doing right now, but you'll see on the other side when we get over there that it will start to look like the stockinette stitch. So right to left, wrap around, pull through. Right to left, wrap around, pull through. So keep going this direction, going through the stitch, wrapping it around, pulling it through. Now this is what it would look like if you were in motion. You can push this along, push these up, and keep going. We're going to do this the whole row. So right to left through this stitch, wrap it around and pull it through. You're going to go, so when you go through, you're going to wrap it around this direction, pull it through. So in there, wrap it around, pull it through. Now I'm going to finish to the end of the row and we'll start the next one. And you'll see the stockinette design start to take place. Okay, so that's the last stitch on that row. Doesn't look much different yet. We're going to turn it around. And now I'm going to incorporate, this row is going to be knit. So I'm going to go ahead and knit this row so that you can see what starts to take place. So if you remember from the last lesson, where instead of going right, we're going to go left to right. And once you go through there, you grab the thread from behind. So left to right, you're grabbing it from behind. I'm just going to go ahead and knit through this row. And then we'll do one more row in purl, and I'll show you when it starts to take place. This is a great design you can kind of incorporate into baby blankets. It does end up developing a strap if you wanted to continue this way. And if you didn't want to just keep doing the stockinette, if you went back and forth between the stockinette and the garter, you would end up with a textured strap. Alright, so we're at the end of the row, and you can kind of see that knit or stockinette, traditional knit look is starting to take place here. So in this row, this is what would happen. We would purl this row. So in order to continue with that stockinette, you would knit one row and purl one row. So here we go back to the purl. So this time we're holding the thread in the front. We're going from right to left through. And we're pulling, wrapping it around and pull it through. So once again, through here, wrap it around, pull it through. So you're going this, this, and you're holding these stitches over here. These are the ones you've completed. And you can feed this up a little bit, whatever you're comfortable with. So let me see here. So we're holding it in the front, right to left, wrap it around, pull it through. Right to left, wrap it around, pull it through. This may feel foreign at first, but as you can see, because you're holding the thread the same way and basically feeding it from the same way, the maneuvers are very similar. You can see the transition between knit and purl can be quite easy. There are some designs that call for you'll knit to, purl to, knit to, purl to, and that's where this really comes in handy, is when you're trying to incorporate multiple stitches into a design. Now we're almost done with this row, purling it again. And then I'll show you with this. The stockinette should really be taking effect now. Should be pretty visible. Alright, that's the end of the row. We're going to turn it around. And as you can see, I don't know if you can see with the lighting, but you can see it looks like knit stitches. So now it looks like we've almost created a strap. You can see the knit stitches there. So that's how you purl.